Okay, so it's the the auction. We've gone from wick to wick on the euro. So this was it about 13,000 here, 14,000 on this rally, and I got out and I actually went short. So I cashed out last night when we were going up, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go flat. So I was flat at about 13,900, 13,900, and then I said, oh, let's just throw some elements up there. So I threw these up there, and it pulled back about 15 pips, and I got out. And then I said, you know what, let's put some buy limits. And so when it was tanking, like you can't fucking believe, because it was kind of hunting down the low of the week after it took out the high of the week. So this is your classic um, mind-blowing auction where you actually uh, rip above the previous day in this 20 pip trap up here, and then you come flying back the other way, and people are just like, what the fuck? So you actually top tick Tommy Asia here, but I would start selling here just to be on the safe side. I wouldn't want to miss this. Like, I'm not going to put 40 standard lots up here hoping they take it to here, or 40 million standard lots up here hoping that's going to happen. I'm probably going to scale into that. And then if I scalp to here, you could let the rest go. But look how they nick this wick. There's a dead cat bounce fueled off of that. Then you're underneath the floor here. And for God's sakes, right? I mean, you got to have to be buying here. So I bought, really had to buy this. You know, you can't, I mean, what are you going to do? You buy here because you're like, oh shit, like, dude, that's completely like, and then one more leg down. And everybody's like, what the fuck? I don't know if you've ever seen markets like, because the same thing you would say is about this. You start buying this new low. It comes to here. You could scalp to here, or you could even say, I'm going to scalp to here. But then it top tick Tommy's there, rips back, and then blows through. So there's so much pent up pressure in both directions. Just can't wait for the thing to uncoil itself. I suppose that's what's going on here. And where's the final destination? Maybe we just come back to here. God knows. Now this might be a ton of money right here. If you got in nice and thick and hairy here, and then you took it to here and you got out, it's a completely legitimate trade. I mean, it's like, okay, went down, went back up. I don't know if I would sell here, hoping it's going to keep tanking. After this vicious day, this is a 1 hour chart. So you start off here in Asia, you kind of come down, and this is the nice, kind of beautiful, low pip, lonely wick entry where you keep kind of bob down. You got the, I drew this before it exploded. This was the triangle we were looking to break, and then, okay, exploded. Yeah, no shit. And then just kablamo, and just viciously above here. So I sold above there. And when it came back to here, I cashed out. So I didn't stay around for this ride down. But when I saw that, I just said, holy shit. So I really came in hot. And this is how I'm down basically $10,000 of loss coming here. But it's okay, don't worry. You know, we can steer the ship back onto course because we have money management. See, we got 10 pip stops, and I've got 5 pip stops, and I got an 8 pip stop, and these are my widest ones. So I just wrote this new script, which is going to make us 60 pips, which I dropped those down here. But I'm prepared to move my stops up, I mean my targets up now, and just make it a giant swing trade, because this is probably going to be worth 30 pips instead of just 10. So, and then the final engulf, you know, 120 pips, right? I mean, just rip your face off. I don't know if you've ever seen the way Forex can be so uh, bipolar, where it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. And people are like, what the fuck's going on? And the way it runs, so it drifts or it screams. It's either drifting, it's like, oh, we're kind of going up, or it's like shear your face off, and it's just mind blowing. It's really kind of daunting to step into it, because this is the problem ICT's having, is he can't imagine how would you trade that, And he's telling people to sit on their hands and sit back and be patient. For what? Some guy to tap you on the shoulder. Hey, come here, you. Okay, you should get right here. Actually, get in Asia. If you're afraid that they're going to stop you out, well, just get in Asia, put a tight stop on it, and walk away. Yeah. You should know what's going on. You should know where the trade's at. So that's the problem, though. See, it's so difficult. It's so much work, because you're dealing with pure chaos, right? So everything's crooked in the real world, like in the geometric space that exists on your chart. That's not real. The real market's messy. Stuff happens. How you like that sell off in Bitcoin? Just took out that floor, like, bye-bye. It just sheared into this, and it's drifting down. It's just kind of dicking around now. But how do you prepare for that? So are you going to buy Bitcoin on limits and you don't give a fuck when that happens, when it smashes down? Or are you going to sit there with your finger on the sell button and ride the plunge that you perceive is about to happen? So what side of the how are you going to find yourself exploiting these moves if you know they're coming? So you're either waiting to get picked up in your supposed 618 or your perfect optimal trade entry, or you are sitting there with your finger on the trigger waiting for all conditions to be ripe for you to kill this running animal. So you're either shooting this live animal, or you're setting traps. You're setting bear traps, bull traps, and you're just trying to pick up game because you know where they run, so you place your traps. Or you're going to put I guess people that get in during the Asian session probably have a direction in mind, unless you're putting on a true hedge with just stops that are tight, and whichever way the wind blows, and if it blows hard enough, it's going to take you into a winning position. But the problem there is, unless you leg out of that, you can't ride the whole breakout and run by keep trailing a stop in that one position, because when the market gets heated up, you can't trade that big. When it goes like so here, when the market was crushing down, I'm putting in tickets that I'm like, yeah, okay, they could stop me out, right? But probably won't blow up the account, because if I traded without any stops, I would definitely have wiped the account out. Plus, the broker's not letting me put on a trade right now because I'm under margin by $15. That's another money management thing built into the platform, or built into the style of trading. Put $5,000 in there, you're down $2,000. What are you going to do? So, pure limits, kind of difficult in a way. And I'm only buying. I did some sells earlier today, like I said, up here. Now, I had no anticipation that we're going to engulf on this pullback. And just like here, if I sold up here, I really can't perceive this move, just like I can't really, in a way, perceive this move after buying here. It's very tough, because if I cashed out here, and it's like, if I reload that, or do I cash out along the way, let the position get lighter, then buy on limits? So that's what I want to do. I want to keep a constant size, a range between X and X. And my trade plan should be good enough that if the market looks like it's slumping then they're never going to fill the tickets because the tickets are going to expire before we get there. If I think it's going to be a scalp, I'm going to put in a tight stop, tight target. So I ran a lot of these, risk 10 pips to make 10 pips, but it's where you drop them. So when you drop them, and I can drop them here even though I don't have enough money to fill them, but if I did, you know, we'd fill those tickets too. We could put it on the pound or something. We don't have any margin left. But we'll look something like this. We just say, all right, let's buy here with a 10 pip stop, you know, 10K here, and then all the way down, or not all, you know, wherever you want to put it, but now you're choosing it. So you're saying, oh, way down here. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And we get stopped out of this one, and you have free margin, and all of a sudden the market smashes down and you're filling a ticket down there. Or you're doing what I'm doing, which is overloading the account and counting on the stops to save me. Now, I ran a lot of these 16 by 16s, and I put those kind of deep. At least I thought they were deep at the time. Of course, the market, once it came back to here, this is pretty extreme, right? Straight down into this, and only get a little bit of a dead cat bounce out of that. And then here's when I said, yeah, let's just get in here with these 20 pip stops. So I held through this crush, these tickets. I was able to retain these entries. And now we have $28 in margins. But if I had a market order at this moment right now, I would pull the trigger. I'd be like, okay, let's make like $5 here, and I would just work the account. So if you work, it's like a job. See, if you work the fucking thing right now, you buy at the market. But I'm not going to do that just because I'm trying to be a disciplined trader on this account. Plus, we can still blow up the account. But I'm saying that this approach is you make it very difficult to blow up the account if you do not trade at the market. If you have all your trade plans, it's almost like you only got so many choices, and this is what's making it safer, right? Because if you're allowed to just come in raw dog and pull the trigger on 10Ks with a no stop and no take profit, then what the fuck? It's retarded. You're going to blow the car up. So we got to make it through this 3 minutes. We got to make it till 5 after here. So we're holding in there. We got $58 of free margin, so it's very good. And we are deep discount under the floor. We got crushed, and we fell down another rabbit hole, even lower. And if anybody sold above here and held it to where we're at now, that is just amazing fortitude. I just after this price, I'd be so out of that trade. I'd be like, oh, you know, okay, well, down a little lower. And at this point, I'm actually thinking, hell, let's just buy below here. I can't fucking believe it. So that's what I did. I can't fucking believe that price. And with the beauty of limit entry, I was able to throw the tickets in and just let it go. That's what that looks like. So we should have taken out some money and got some sushi. I get that. $80 here free. Should I do withdrawal here? Let me call the broker here. See if we can take some demo funds out. So this is going to be a nice ride. This could be like a big deal. It's the middle of the month here. We're either going to keep tanking or we're going to go up viciously now because of that total, like, people were probably so excited about this going up. They're like, yeah, finally, man, I'm in this great trade, and man, that was such a great entry. And then if you did not trail your stop or take anything off the table, you must have just woke up the next day going, huh, what? But I bought here, and what the fuck? That's just not right. They manipulated the market up here. And some goober came in here and bought it stuff, and they just feasted on this goober, and then he became part of the goober parade coming back. Oof. That didn't work out. That didn't work too good. It no work. Okay, so we 102. We're screaming back, so we're gonna let it go at 102. We have to make it through this into the 9 o'clock hour. Then we got to come screaming back into Europe. Take out the high of today again. Right, just go nuts to the other side. Now I'll take 30 pips. So if we go to here, right, that's fine with me. Actually, just take it to here. We're good. We got plenty of money if we get to here. So all these guys will be winners by 20 pips. So this should take us back to about $15,000. And it'd be okay, right? Yeah, that is beat to hell. So we're holding this for the swing now. There's nothing we could do unless I got in at the market, but I refuse to do that because I'm a purist when it comes to this trade plan. I got to keep everything. I will move my targets though, so this is kind of a change I'm willing to make to bring the account back to very like to $20,000. We move these tickets, so we have to go through about 800 tickets here, but hey, it's money. Right, so it's fake money, but this is what it would take: is you have to pick almost 50 pips here, and you get fast at this if you have this lined up on the column just above where you're going to edit. And then all you have to do now is go like this. Just keep flipping this. Going to put 50 pips on that target now. Since I can't add to this, I would add on limits though. Maybe we could get a little greedy there. And oh, that's a pretty high target actually. That's fucking high. So yeah, I got most of these are about 40 pips away now. The target's way up in the nosebleed on that. So we can let that go. We don't have to worry about this account now because it's either going to blow up or it's going to survive this giant swing that I put us into. Me and my silent partner, and very silent, duct taped. I duct taped the partner, so he didn't like the trade I was putting on. He says, "Well, you're gonna buy it? It's bearish. You're buying? Yeah, I'm buying it." Look at the daily. It's just mind-boggling. Look at this enclosed underneath the low of the previous. This is a mind-boggling sell-off. Come on, man. Jesus fuck. That is insane. That is just beyond. Look at the weekly. For God's sakes, man. Are people really still selling this thing? They must be retarded, man. On what planet? In what universe would you be selling the fucking euro dollar here? Oh, well, it looks like a reversal actually. Look at this, a little bit. I might say this is more overbought at a lower price than here, so your target should be about here. Look at that thing. Oh Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is going to be brutal. So I could really maximize this if I started buying at the market here 10Ks with like with a 8 pip target, just start to chase it. I think that'd be a great trade right now. But I'm going to let this thing come back to a reasonable price, a reasonable amount of money in the account. So it survived about the biggest sell-off I've ever bought, really, on this pure limit systems. So with, kind of, if you told people that's the only way to trade, they wouldn't know. Like if you told somebody they didn't know they could pull the trigger, right, and start shooting at stuff, then you would definitely have easier time of it. Man, look at this thing. Wow, that is just a mind-boggling sell-off. I still can't get over it. Man, the beat down on this thing. Look at the 4 hour. So last night was the break of that 4 hour. Look how that thing screamed through that. It was just it's devastating. Last night's crushing destruction of that. Wow. We popped it here. It popped out one here. We crushed. Now we're super buy territory. But that we can still make it back. So here's the thing. I was in about $7,000 of margin down here earlier today. So before this last tipping point. So at this point here, and I didn't want to do it, so I didn't. But so in this place, I was in $8,000 of margin. The account still had about $9,000 in here. And I'm in really heavy, as you would be, and didn't cash out. And then down the tubes, takes out this. And once we took out this, your mind was blown, right? And this is the threshold we're coming up on right now. So this is the big contest currently. This wick and where we're at right now at this time of night. And can we make it back to here is going to be where, I mean, if you had to get out, right? So if you had to cash out because you're freaking out here, you could dump everything here and then just come back in with limits, but then you'd have to work again to do that same trade and try to build that same position. So whatever you built, my tequila buddy would build these giant positions, and then when the market would blow up his position, because he didn't trade with stops, I don't think. The account was a stop, and so he'd say, I spent so much time building that position, and it just destroyed. They destroyed it, and I know. It's like you built a fucking house on the water, and what'd you expect, right? They come after you. Take your house down. So I'm holding this position through the night, so to speak. Well, through this crushing move. Okay, the retrace. It's all about the retrace, but this will be a swing trade, I'm pretty sure. I don't really have a choice at this point. And that's another thing is that we have free margin, and if we did make it to here, I could start putting buy limits in underneath and really push the account. That's another option. So if you don't care, so if you're fearless, you don't care about losing, then you can risk more. And we could put some buy limits in that last like an hour and stuff, and then you get kind of fancy because you want to pick up just the right amount. You want to get to about $10,000 of margin usage, and then all of a sudden the market just rips in this final leg. It just goes smashing the other way, and everybody's it's astounding. These markets are just astounding. The price levels. Market doesn't seem to care about moving average. It laughs at a moving average. It don't care. There's no respect for a moving average. It's respecting my 20 EMA. Is it now? You got a problem. Okay, it's a quarter after. It looks like the sellers are coming to town. So we got to be able to survive this plunge. We've only got $280 of margin free. It doesn't take much for us to just evaporate that on any kind of pullback here. So this is kind of like the moment of truth. Can we push up into this, clear the trees, come back, and then we're either not going to touch it, or we're going to, if it comes screaming to here, then we can run buy limits beneath it and pick up a little bit more, or we just let it go through its cycle, comes to here, comes back, and you just don't care. You're just not going to care about the whole position. You're going to let the whole thing play out wherever it ends up in the next 3 days. And by Friday, maybe it's making new lows. You cash out here, and you just worry about trading this kind of how much ever velocity it has. You don't get to choose that, so you just have to sit back and come up with ideas how to exploit the price fluctuations. Because what else are you going to do? So you could sell at the market here, I suppose, right? I'm selling because this is the breakout point, confirmation, sell here. It's going to tank into the night. Okay, got you there. But then again, how many pips are you going to try to make? Like, are you going to trade big enough on this trade here, selling here at the supposed breakout confirmation, going down now? Is that going to be a great trade for you? Or are you better putting in buy limits here and saying, you know what, they could go lower. Is it better to buy down here? And or would you rather sell into this because you think at this point here would be the best place to sell big because it's going to come back to here? So it's all what you perceive. It's possible. I'm always thinking in the terms of buying, but I can see the sellers coming in here, and thinking, well, all we got to do is this, and then we just got to do this, and then this, and then this, and then once we take this out, it's going to be crazy town, and we could just ride this down, and that would be the bears scenario. This is, but once again, you're stuck with so I sell a lot here, or sell a little here, and then every time I sell more, I sell more, I sell more, and I pyramid into it. This is endless possibilities of how you even manage that situation. But here I feel like I'm just going to hold the long position here, even if it's going to go lower. So I'm committed to this trade. They pretty much have to go down here. And once we get to here, I think we'll have zero margin available, and then we'll just go negative. If they stop me out, I put in the 60 pip winners, because if we go down there, it means we're going to hell. And it's going to be now even a bigger retrace, I'm assuming. Oh, look, it's backing off here, so running out of margin real quick. So I can't put any limits in now. There won't be enough margin available when if the market should pull back here now. So that's off the table. But it's okay. It's okay. We don't care. See, this is the thing about not caring. You can't care about this shit. It's like a horror flick. It's not real. It's not real until you take your money out. Oh, $176. That's plenty of margin available. 5-minute chart. It's pulling back. So they trapped the breakout guys. People trade the breakout of Asia. They just got trapped. Right. As soon as we took out this, I got those tickets in so tight. Yeah, I ain't got room for one. Maybe one here. 5 pip stop for 1 hour. 8 pip stop for an hour. I don't know if I have enough money to fill those, but this is how I would approach it at this point in the night. It's 7:20. Can we tank? And I could put these in. It doesn't matter. They may not have enough money to fill them, but that's what that would look like. There might be enough money to fill a couple of these tickets. We'll see. Here, it's got the... Yeah. I don't think so. Just barely. We need about $30 for each ticket. No, but pretty close. Anyways, that's what we're hanging through the swing here. I think I'm putting a horror flick because, I just can't stop watching these stupid ass horror flicks. It's just, I think I'm addicted. It's just, it's disturbing. I can't even watch the fucking thing. But it's like a contest. Can you watch these gory, ridiculous slasher movies? Is it possible? I'm testing the limits of vulgarity. See what I can take. Alright, so we're going to ride through the swing here. And I'm only going to add, if I get $1,000 of free margin, if we start to crawl back above here, I'm going to trail by limits just like this. And I'm going to push it. I'm going to push hard. And if they stop me out, they stop me out. I have to go with it. So the money management's built into here. I did add the 60 pip winner instead of just the 40 because it could be a giant swing night. The night of the giant swing. And therefore we can cash in on this Euro drama. What a ridiculous currency pair. Well, it's Euro versus the dollar. All right. It's going to be another Tuesday night. That's what it is.